In 30 years, there will be 9 billion people on this planet and less usable farmland. So how will we feed the world? AeroFarms. AeroFarms is a technique to grow crops using less space and resources, so no one in the world will go hungry because of lack of farmland. As a biology major, I'm interested in all forms of life, so I've done extensive research on AeroFarms and the benefits of them. Today, we will look at AeroFarms and examine how it benefits the cultivation of crops, lessens world hunger, as well as promotes recyclability. How will our world accommodate to the increasing population when more and more land is being used for commercial building? This can be done through the cultivation of crops through a new way of farming. AeroFarms have found a new way to grow crops vertically with less resources. According to the 2020 article, Overview of the Aeroponic Agriculture, an emerging technology for global food security, published by the International Journal of Agriculture and Biological Engineering, in a controlled indoor environment, crops are being able to be grown without sun or soil. This is an example of how these crops are being able to be grown without the sun or soil. Aeroponic growing systems allow for faster growing. They also allow for the plants to be grown without soil. They use a gentle mist to hydrate the crops with. This system allows them to use 95% less water than a normal farming system would use. They also use no natural sunlight, so LED lights are the only source of light they get. These LED lights are able to be adjusted to the right spectrum of light for each plant specifically. The ability to change the light allows them to control the size and the shape of each of the plants specifically, which is very helpful in the long run. Now that we understand AeroFarms and how they work to produce crops through vertical techniques, we can look at these techniques and how they can help world hunger. Feeding the world can be done when less resources are needed. Through the investment in AeroFarms, Furtado and Terrazono wrote in the New York Times article, AeroFarms raises $100 million as investors rush to indoor farms on July 8, 2019, that the company will be able to grow more crops with their smart nutrition. This smart nutrition allows them to make sure that every plant has the right amount of micro and macronutrients needed for them to grow efficiently, and so they have the best quality. With climate change, indoor growing is a guaranteed way to produce food. It also allows the crops to be produced at a faster rate and to be grown at twice the normal speed. The speed that they are growing crops can help to the starving people in the world, says Clark and Schneider, who wrote the November 28, 2019 article, Vertical Farming Company, AeroFarms, is making vegetables tastier and feeding communities in need, that was produced by ABC. These vertical growing techniques allow them to grow more plants in less space. As you can see in this image, they grow up as high as they can. The buildings are all indoors and there's no natural light in, so they use less space on the ground, but they grow them twice as high as a normal amount, if not even more. They can build these systems as high as the building allows them to. As you can see here, they are very high structures, but they still all grow the same quality food that we would desire, and even better if you ask some people. These vertical structures allow them to grow many different crops in the same area as well, since each one is specified for that particular crop. Each one of these may be a different type of crop, or it could all be the same vegetable they are growing. AeroFarms not only helps to lessen world hunger, but they also help protect the environment through the recycling of old materials and creating them into new ones that are useful for the environment. Recyclability is needed to protect the environment. A recyclable medium is used to grow each of these plants. They have a patent for the medium that they used to grow on. This patent allows them to recycle up to 350 of these normal water bottles you see on the top left into a new medium to grow plants on instead of the traditional soil. This medium you can see on the bottom right. As we know, recyclability is very important at Wartburg, and we have places to recycle water bottles all throughout campus and at the back of every dorm. Being able to recycle allows us to make new growing mediums for plants, as well as help us to save the environment by bringing these out of just the trash or normal places to recycle. They're used to help us grow crops that will be able to help not only us, but also the world. Research has been done at AeroFarms in 2020, and it has found that AeroFarm systems produces 390 times more productive material per square foot. This is because of the vertical techniques they use. When traditional farming, they can only have one layer of plants. This type of farming, they can have multiple. When they stack them up higher, they allow themselves to be a lot more productive with their materials. and grow a lot more crops in the limited amount of space they may have. This company is based out of New Jersey in a commercial area. It is not in your traditional farmland, but they have still managed to be able to produce a lot of crops with quality work. They also allow the climate to not be a factor in growing crops. It doesn't matter if you live in a dry climate or if there's a natural disaster that strikes. Any place that you use could be the ideal place for farming to occur. Together, we have looked at the benefits of aerofarming for the community and the environment. Whether we realize it or not, we all can help by the simple actions that Wartburg students already make and recycle so that these water bottles may be reused for such items such as AeroFarms growing medium. So next time you recycle, think about AeroFarms and how that water bottle you recycled may help provide food for those who are less fortunate than us.